Monday, November 10th, 2025, and this is Read Through the Bible.
And it seems like winter has come.
There's snow on the ground right now as we're recording this on Sunday night.
Yeah, and it's like 25 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and wasn't it like 19 wind chill?
Yeah, it felt like it was like
chill.
19 earlier today. Like I think I left church and it was like cold outside. I was like, what is it? So I looked up on weather.com, my app, whatever, and it said it was like 31 degrees outside, but like 19.
Wow.
It felt like 19. So anyway, but by the end of the week, it's going to be a little bit warmer. Well, we are reading in 2 Samuel chapter 20 and 21 today, and it sort of gets off the theme of what we've seen so far.
Right. So like in chapter 11, David sinned with Bathsheba, and then from 12 through 19, it's just been like his family is unraveling, and Absalom just died in chapter 19. And then now it's kind of changing a little.
Yeah, so it's been focused upon just the crumbling of David's family, and now it just seems like just bad things happening in the nation. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's all true of David's sin. Like, he sinned and things did not go well with him, with his family, nor with the nation. Mm-hmm. So we're going to read of two events. The ESV heading over chapter 20 says the rebellion of Sheba. We're going to see him revolt and David deal with him. And then we're going to see David avenges the Gibeonites, and that goes back to something that Saul had done.
Yep, that's chapter 21.
Yep. Okay, so let's just start reading 2 Samuel chapter 20.
Now there happened to be a worthless man whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a Benjaminite. And he blew the trumpet and said, "We have no portion in David, and we have no inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Israel." So all the men of Israel withdrew from David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah followed their king steadfastly from the Jordan to Jerusalem.
Okay,
so another civil war is brewing.
Yep, and again, you need to see that Israel's in the north and Judah's in the south, and these are like natural divisions of the people. And Sheba is drawing the northern kingdom just away from David.
And that's who Ishbosheth had ruled over.
Yep. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took 10 concubines whom he had left to care for the house, and put them in a house under guard, and provided for them, but did not go into them. So they were shut up until the day of their death, living as if in widowhood.
Then the king said to Amasa, "Call the men of Judah together to me within 3 days, and be here yourself."
Who's Amasa?
So Amasa was actually Absalom's general. So not a friend of David, probably.
Yeah, but somehow David's considering him a general.
Right. Okay, so verse 5. So Amasa went to summon Judah, but he delayed beyond the set time that had been appointed him. So I just think he's not trustworthy, and this is not good. Verse 6, and David said to Abishai, "Now Sheba the son of Bichri will do us more harm than Absalom. Take your lord's servants and pursue him, lest he get himself to fortified cities and escape from us." And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Kerethites, and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men. They went out from Jerusalem to pursue Sheba the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stone that is in Gibeon, Amasa came to meet them. Now, Joab was wearing a soldier's garment, and over it was a belt with a sword in its sheath, fastened on his thigh. And as he went forward, it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, so Joab is David's general, Amasa was Absalom's general. So Joab said to Amasa, "Is it well with you, my brother?" And Joab took Amasa by the beard with his right hand to kiss him. But Amasa did not observe the sword that was in Joab's hand. So Joab struck him with it in the stomach and spilled his entrails to the ground without striking a second blow, and he died.
So this is Joab, David's general, basically taking over and killing Amasa, who delayed, who was Absalom's general. Mm-hmm. A lot of jealousy probably happening here, but it just shows like the fighting among the generals.
Uh-huh.
Then Joab and Abishai, his brother, pursued Sheba, the son of Bichri. Now Sheba's the one who caused the rebellion of Israel in the north. And one of Joab's young men took a stand by Amasa and said, "Whoever favors Joab and whoever is for David, let him follow Joab." And Amasa lay wallowing in his blood in the highway. And anyone who came by, seeing him, stopped. And when the man saw that all the people stopped, he carried Amasa out of the highway into the field and threw a garment over him. When he was taken out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue Sheba, the son of Bichri.
And Sheba passed through all the tribes of Israel to Abel Beth-maachah, and all the Bichrites assembled and followed him in. And all the men who were with Joab came and besieged him in Abel of Beth-maachah. They cast up a mound against the city, and it stood against the rampart. And they were battering the wall to throw it down.
So in other words, Sheba has led this rebellion of Israel in the north against David. And Joab basically is pursuing him, following to the city, and they're setting up a siege ramp. They're going to fight just to get this man, because this man was leading the rebellion.
Right.
He needed to die.
So they want to stop the rebellion, so they've got to stop Sheba. So they surrounded the city where Sheba was hiding. Verse 16, then a wise woman called from the city, listen, tell Joab, come here that I may speak to you. And he came near her, and the woman said, are you Joab? He answered, I am. Then she said to him, listen to the words of your servant. And he answered, I am listening. Then she said, they used to say in former times, let them but ask counsel at Abel. And so they settled a matter. I am one of those who are peaceable and faithful in Israel. You seek to destroy a city that is a mother in Israel. Why will you swallow up the heritage of the Lord? Joab answered, far be it from me. Far be it that I should swallow up or destroy. That is not true. But a man of the hill country of Ephraim, called Sheba, the son of Bichri, has lifted up his hand against King David. Give up him alone, and I will withdraw from the city. And the woman said to Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown to you over the wall. Then the woman went to all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba the son of Bichri and threw it out to Joab. So he blew the trumpet, and they dispersed from the city, every man to his home. And Joab returned to Jerusalem to the king.
Yep. So Sheba was pursued to this place, Abel Beth-maachah, and they were going to destroy this city for hiding and harboring this refuge. And this wise woman said, okay, I'll take care of it. She had his head cut off, and it satisfied it.
Yep, and then Joab and his army withdrew.
Yep, now Joab was in command of all the army of Israel, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was in command of the Kerethites and the Pelethites, and Adoram was in charge of the forced labor, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud was the recorder, and Sheva was the secretary, and Zadok and Abiathar were priests, and Ira the Jairite was also David's priest. Okay, so here, like the ESV just says the rebellion of Sheba. If you can remember what happened, the rebellion of Sheba, that is totally fine. But Sheba led Israel to withdraw from David. And basically Joab pursued him down to Abel Beth-maachah. And this wise woman said, toss his head over the wall. So like maybe trim that down to Sheba leads a rebellion against David. And he loses his head over the wall or something. I don't know. You can figure that out. How short you want to make it. Chapter 21.
Okay, here we go. Now there was a famine in the days of David for 3 years, year after year. And David sought the face of the Lord, and the Lord said, there is blood guilt on Saul and on his house, because he put the Gibeonites to death. So the king called the Gibeonites and spoke to them. Now the Gibeonites were not of the people of Israel, but the remnant of the Amorites. Although the people of Israel had sworn to spare them, that's back in
Joshua chapter 9.
Yep. Saul had sought to strike them down in his zeal for the people of Israel and Judah. And David said to the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you, and how shall I make atonement, that you may bless the heritage of the Lord? The Gibeonites said to him, it is not a matter of silver or gold between us and Saul or his house, neither is it for us to put any man to death in Israel. And he said, what do you say that I shall do for you? They said to the king, the man who consumed us and planned to destroy us so that we should have no place in all the territory of Israel, that would be Saul, let 7 of his sons be given to us so that we may hang them before the Lord at Gibeah of Saul, chosen of the Lord. And the king said, I will give them.
Right, so these Gibeonites had made a covenant with Israel. Israel promised not to destroy them. They would dwell in the land.
Joshua 9.
Yeah, they'd be woodcutters and water carriers, and apparently Saul sought to put some of them to death, and did put some of them to death. And, Saul was already dead, so they need to still atone for this somehow. And so they chose Saul's sons. So this is amazing what David does. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Saul's son Jonathan, because of the oath of the Lord that was between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. I think that's in chapter 9 of 2 Samuel, yep. The king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bore to Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and 5 sons of Merab, the daughter of Saul, whom she bore to Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholonite. And he gave them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them on the mountain before the Lord. And the 7 of them perished together. They were put to death in the first days of harvest, at the beginning of the harvest, the barley harvest. So I think it just shows that, in order to appease these people, right, there needed to be a punishment for Saul's actions. And so the punishment was to kill 7 of his sons.
Okay, verse
And
10.
one of those women then is going to mourn. That's what we're talking about here.
Okay, verse 10. Then Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for herself on the rock from the beginning of harvest until rain fell upon them from the heavens. And she did not allow the birds of the air to come upon them by day, or the beasts of the field by night. When David was told what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done, David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of his son Jonathan from the men of Jabesh-Gilead, who had stolen them from the public square of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them on the day the Philistines killed Saul on Gilboa. That's at the end of 1 Samuel. Verse 13, and he brought up from there the bones of Saul and the bones of his son Jonathan, and they gathered the bones of those who were hanged, and they buried the bones of Saul and his son Jonathan in the land of Benjamin, in Zelah, in the tomb of Kish his father. And they did all that the king commanded. And after that, God responded to the plea for the land.
So basically, in order to help this mourning woman, he digs up the bones of Saul and Jonathan and buries these 7 who had died with the bones of Saul and Jonathan. Almost as if, that's an honorable thing to be buried and mixed with the bones of Jonathan and Saul.
Well, and they're all in the tomb of Kish, Saul's father. Yep. So they're in the family tomb.
There was war again between the Philistines and Israel, and David went down together with his servants, and they fought against the Philistines, and David grew weary. And Ishbi-Benob, one of the descendants of the giants, whose spear weighed 300 shekels of bronze, and who was armed with a new sword, thought to kill David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, came to his aid and attacked the Philistine and killed him. Then David's men swore to him, "You shall no longer go out with us to battle, lest you quench the lamp of Israel."
After this, there was again war with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbecai, the Hushathite, struck down Saph, who was one of the descendants of the giants. And there was war again with the Philistines at Gob, and Elhanan, the son of Ja'aragim, the Bethlehemite, struck down Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Another Goliath, I guess?
They've struck down several giants now. Right, that's the idea here. Yep.
Right. And there was war again at Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number. And he also was descended from the giants. And when he taunted Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, David's brother, struck him down. These 4 were descended from the giants in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants.
Okay, so this chapter is all about David atoning for Saul's sin of putting many of the Gibeonites to death. And he does so by handing over 7 of Saul's sons, and they are hanged.
Yes, and then war with the Philistines, including some giants.
Yep. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.